Alright guys, so there's a couple of things I wanted to point it out to you guys. These are the two intake runner, valve runner. This is one and this is two. I'm not sure if this is number one and this is number two, or this is number one and this is number two. I'm probably pretty sure this is number one and this is number two, because they work accordingly to the catalytic converters. So one valve runner, which is bank one, controls your catalytic converter and your cylinders, your cylinder number 1, 3 and 5, and then you have the front one that goes back to your front catalytic converter, and it controls your cylinders 2, 4 and 6. So when I plugged my scanner in yesterday, it was telling me that one of my runner sensor was high, efficiency was high. So it's not telling me that it's this one that is bad, it's telling me that this one is bad. And this one that is telling me that it's bad, it looks good, because this is the one that's damaged on the front, and it's telling me that this one is good. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and change the both of them, because that wasn't my original idea. That was my original idea, to change all these off, and also put my throttle body on it. And they're number 10. They're number 10 bolts. The four little, they're not really bolts, they're screws, but they're number 10. And I'm just gonna use my power tool to take them off real quick. And when you're tightening these down, guys, you tighten them with hand. Try to use your power tool to tighten them up. You can screw them down with your power tools, but don't tighten them up with your power tools, because it's plastic and it's very delicate in there. I have one of these intake heads right now that's sitting over there. I had to change it for the next one, because the screws was not sitting tightly in here, because the holes are going. And I'm just gonna take this apart, and I'm gonna show you real quick what's happening to this one right here, guys. This one right here, right in this part right here, it has a it's like it's open, and anything can get down into here. Water or anything can get down into here. And like I said, this is a runner valve for your intake manifold. You have one and you have two, and there's a plug-in right here. It's a 5-pin plug, 5-pin plug that see right here. It's a 5-pin plug, and I want to see if I can bring you close to show you this little part right here that is busted up in here. Right up in here is all busted. You see that? See that big gap that's in here? That's how it's coming apart off here. And if water, I don't know if I know it's an electrical part, so if water gets down in it, I think it would affect it. And so I already unplugged them, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna safely put my screws in a place that I can remember them, because like I said, guys, they're four little screws. They're not really bolts, they're 4 little screws, and they're number 10 heads. They're screws and not bolts, and they make them screws and not bolt. They make them screws, so it goes into the plastic and it sits in there and it tightens up. And you don't over tighten these, guys. One thing with these things, you don't over tighten them, and that's what happened on the one that I had to change, because it was over tightened. And because it was over tightened, it round out the head, it round out the hole, the screw hole. And back here, I really don't to put my power tool back here, because it's very difficult to catch. And I always try to use my hand because the screws sometimes they fall out. And like I said, the power tool kind of bit hard to get, but that's why I like this Craftsman, because this Craftsman gets into little places. And normally I get my I always, like when I'm taking screws from the back like this and I'm not taking the whole intake cover off, I normally just go ahead and grab my my magnet and put my magnet on it, and while I'm screwing it out, my magnet will hold it that it doesn't fall down. So, and I'm gonna take this one off, and they're both different, guys, so you can't put them in the wrong place. You can't put them in the wrong place, because this is the one for the back. This is the one for the back, so you know they're two different runners, so you can't put them into the wrong place. And you can see this runner is, you know, fairly clean, and it's nice and oily in there. I just don't know why, you know, but sometimes you see it look clean like this and it look new, and it's not good, because my scanners tell me this is the one that is bad. Like my dust cap, I gotta open back this from my engine, and I didn't screw these down so I can take these out easy. 1, 2, 3, and it comes apart. Flop it over there because I'm keeping this underneath here because I don't want any water to get down in there. And it's a good thing I'm changing this, because now I have the time, the opportunity to just take this this throttle body off. And I really didn't want to have to go that route, guys, but you know, since now that I remember the gasket underneath here, and then I didn't check to see if it was a good gasket, because the one that on my old valve body cover, it's a new one. And some of these things are hard to come off, guys, so when you press the red pin and it won't come out, you just press down on a little bit and you do like that and it comes right off, guys. And there's one in the back right here, that's your map sensor, and it is the hardest one to come off, guys, and that's why I don't like to plug these things and unplug them, because it is the hardest one to come off. And sometimes you try to take it off and it break. A lot of times it break, and if I see I'm doing that and it doesn't want to come out, there's also another way that you can take it out. It has a way that you can take it out, guys, and I should have put the camera up to show you how you get this out. Let me put the camera around, and I'm going to show you how you get this out. If you're trying to get your harness off, right here, guys, if you're trying to get your harness off your map sensor and it won't come off, there is a way. You turn it, you put it into the hole, and you put it like that, and you turn it all the way around, and that's the locking mechanism right there. And you just do like this, and you pop it out, and it comes right out, and you can just put it aside. Since this harness doesn't want to come off, because what happened is that this harness is locked down in here, so this will never come out unless you put a screwdriver in this part to lift that lock. So I'm gonna go find the piece of harness that comes with this, and because I pull that piece off my map sensor. So if this is long, if it has a long enough wire that I can cut this off and put that piece on it, because I don't want to have to keep taking up my map sensors each time I'm disconnecting this. I want to be able to pull this down and it pops right out. So I'm gonna go check to see if the harness is better than this, and I'm just gonna cut this and splice it, and use some wire connectors to get it back so you get the right amperage. And there's a couple more things that I have to take off here. I have to pull This one right here, there's a clamp that holds and this hose right here that I'm taking off, guys, is for your it leads right back to your master cylinder, and that's what sends the air from the engine to your master cylinder. And there's another hose that right here, that's your vacuum hose, a little vacuum hose right here. And then there's another hose back here, that's your engine oil hose. It goes from the block of the engine and to the intake manifold itself. And then there's two screws that holds your EGR valve back there, and they're two little, they're not bolts, they're screws, and they're two little 5/16 screws back here, guys. Two little 5/16 screws back here. And once I take them out, these two little screws, I remember I showed you guys in an earlier video. These are the two little screws that's back there, and these are hard to find, so you want to secure them. And like I said, I have backup screws. I have these ones, these bullet head, I call them bullet head screws. These are the ones that I had replaced in my old intake manifold, because one of the hole got threaded out here, and one on the EGR valve side got threaded out as well. So I had to replace those, and I'm not going to take my valve body off. I'm not going to take my my chuckle body off here just yet. I'm going to take this intake manifold cover off. I just want to show you how to get them off. And this doesn't take you much time, guys, if you know how to pull whatever needs to be pulled. It don't take you a lot of time. And like I said, there are seven screws. Seven screws, there are four at the front and 3 at the back. You want to get those pulled. Okay, guys, now that we got those pulled, you want to go back and you want to double check and make sure they all come up and they are loosened just like that. And once they are loosened just like that, you gently, not hard, guys, just gently pull on this thing, and once you pull on it, it'll come right out. And you just got to be mindful of your harness, because when you put this thing in, you put this thing in before. And now that I'm down here, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check my spark plugs. I'm gonna check my spark plugs too, guys. So we have right here a little job to do. And you see what I'm saying, guys? You see what I'm saying? This gasket right here, guys, this gasket is done. See that? That gasket is done. This gasket right here is done, guys. There's no doubt about it. This gasket right here is a done gasket, and it's a good thing. That's why I always said, guys, just double check your things, and make sure. And by the way, there's a way to take it out, guys. There are two little pieces right here, one on each end, and you can take it out from each end, and you just do like that, and it pops right out. And look at that gasket. I mean, it's not done. I can clean it up. I can clean it up and reuse it, but I'm not gonna reuse it. I'm gonna use my mines that I got from off eBay. I got that one off eBay. It's the green one. It's thicker, more durable. So I'm gonna go grab that one and put that one in and show you real quick. Okay guys, so this is my green one. This is my green one that I got off my old vehicle, and I'm gonna show you the comparison when this one goes in. Because remember when I took this old one out, guys, I took this old one out, it was sitting way down, so it was sitting so far down in here that it wasn't touching the engine block itself. And the same way you take it out, you want to put it back in, where you put one groove to one end here and one groove right here. And once you do that, you can't miss. And you see the difference, guys? You see the difference? Voila. You see the difference compared to this one? But yet I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to keep it, because like I said, I don't throw away parts. So I'm just going to clean it up and keep it. And I have a lot of these. I have I got these off eBay. It was the pair of them, and it was like $26 a piece, so it was like $52 plus tax to get the pair. And I just used one and I kept one. And I got the offer when I was buying the throttle body. I saw it popped up and I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go ahead and change this, might as well. I changed the gasket onto my my intake manifold cover. And so I can get this cover back on, because like I said, it's raining a lot and I don't want no water to be getting down in here. And I think this is the piece that needs to come out. This piece that broke off. See right here, guys, that's why it's good to check. This piece down inside the manifold itself, the manifold cover is broken off in here. And if it's broken off, this won't go in to sit in there like that. So I'm gonna have to grab my nipple pliers to hold this and pop it out. So all these things you gotta check, guys. You have to check these things. Don't just buy an engine and throw it on, guys, and say yes, everything is good. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys, because it will come back to bite you in the butt. Believe me, it will come back to bite you in the butt. So I just need something that I can grab on here and pop it out, because this thing, see, these things, guys, you have to check. I don't want it break off in there and goes down into my cover, but I just need something. See that, guys? You see that? That's the little piece that broke off in here, guys. That's the piece that broke off in here. And like I said, it's electric. It's electrical. You see that? That's the piece that broke off from off this piece of the old one. And the rubber's still intact. As you can see, the rubber's still intact, and it's you know, it's a new rubber. Rubber doesn't look old, it look even better than mine's. Yep. Even look better than my rubber, because this is my old rubber right here, and this look better than mine's, even fit tighter. So I'm going to use this rubber, and I'm going to keep this rubber here, and I'm just going to clean out in here real quick. You see that? This feels like salt. This is not sand, this is salt. This is salt, guys, up in here. So you gotta check those little things, guys. Those little things is important. And I know I had to check them anyway, but I just put this cover on because it was raining. Like I said, it was raining for like 3-4 days non-stop, and I didn't want any water to get down into my engine. And I'm gonna double check to make sure this part right here is good, and that's why I just went and checked my old one to make sure it's the same design as this, and there's nothing broke off in here or anything before I put my before I put this one in, because I want to able to go in and catch into here. And I don't know if I want to use this, guys, because I'm looking at it right now. Believe you me, honestly, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm looking inside of here, and inside here doesn't look, it look like it's broken, the plastic piece, because this piece is supposed to go in. This is a metal piece, but this piece is supposed to go into here and sit, and it looks like it's broken in here. So I don't want to take no chance. Yeah, it's all messed up in here, so I'm not even gonna use this, guys. I'm not gonna use the old one that come on here. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna use my mines that came with mine. Okay, guys, so this is my intake cover here, and this is the one I'm gonna use, and I'm just hoping no water got down into there. And I'm gonna use this with my choppy body as well. I'm just gonna wipe this down real quick. Let me put my gasket in back in here. Put my gasket back in here, and I'm gonna wipe this thing down real good, and I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, a couple of other things I want to show you before I put these two runner valve back on. There's just a couple of things I want to show you guys, and this is one of them. On my old one, on the one that comes with this engine, this tuner valve inside, when I spin it like this, I could feel that there's no spring in it, because like I said, it's supposed to be sturdy and spin free, because this little metal part right here is what goes down into this hole right here. And when you start the vehicle and it's running, the runner valve controlled this right in here, and it's supposed to spin freely, because this does spin, it does move back and forth. And the one that comes with the engine, this little part right here is all broken, chafe on both sides, and then when I spin it, it was giving problems. So this your intake manifold cover, guys, you gotta inspect it. That's why a lot of these Dodge, from the 2009 all the way up to until the 2016, after a certain time, they start to give trouble, and you have to change these. And you can get these at Mopar parts, or Mopar MOPAR auto, and they're the only ones who sell these. If you go to eBay, you're gonna get these used, and you don't really want to buy a used one. But this one is really good, because this one actually was not the original one that came with my engine, but I got this from the junkyard that I was working, because my old one, what happened is that the screw, one of the screw that's supposed to go down in here, in there, well, it didn't break or anything, but it sank down into the plastic, and I was scared that when it sank down in here, it's gonna leave a hole in here, and air was gonna start escaping through this top part right here. So I did change it, and but the only difference why I didn't use this one is because this one, the holes, one of the holes or two of the holes, and this is worn out, and that's why I had to modify it with these little screws right here. They're a little bigger than the original screw that comes with it, and I had to modify it a little bit, and they're shorter. The original screws are shorter than these ones. So one of these holes I had to modify it, but you can do that, you know, as long as it's tight enough to hold your runner valve on. And I don't know which one of the holes they are. I'm just going to put the original screws back in, and anyone that's spinning more than usual, that's the one I'm going to take out and put another screw in it. But and this, it has a groove, guys. This has a groove, so you can't put it the wrong way. It has a little hole right here, right in here. It has a little hole right there, and it has a guide right here. You put it in the hole right there, and all you have to do is make sure it's lined up inside here, because you don't want to put this on the groove like that and then it's not lined up. So you have to go in here and you have to make sure it's lined up in there, and once it's lined up in there, you can turn it and it sits right into place just like that. All right, but before you line up here, guys, you have to make sure it's lined up inside. Your runner valve is lined up inside before you put your you turn it. Now after it lines up, then you can turn it and line it up here. And this is the one I'm really paying most attention to, because the other one doesn't really need any lined up. You just push it in and put it back on the guide right there as well, and it will work just fine. If you're using your power tool on this thing, you don't want to go too hard on it. You want to take your time and get the screws done, because that's what happens to these things. A lot of people take them off, and it's okay to use the power tool to take it off, but putting it back on, guys, they will start, if you go down too hard, it will start threading the holes, and once you start threading the hole, guys, that's it. It's gonna worn out, and you have to get a bigger screw to put in it. So I just like to go with the feel, and I don't think this is the side that need the extra that bigger screw. I think this is the side. I don't know, because these are going down tight right now. We're not spinning around. Okay, so that's tight enough. And these doesn't really have any torque spec on them. You just use your discretion. And like I said, for this one, it doesn't really have to. There's no really way of lining it up. But you have to get it in the right and proper way in order for it to go back into this groove right here. And it does have a guide. It does have a guide that tells you how you put it in, because you have to put it and you have to make it get down to the hole in order for you to turn this thing. So it turns like this, but and it also turns like that one. But there's a groove guide in here that you have to slide it in, and then you have to turn it. You have to turn it, guys. So you put it down, and it has to go down inside the center hole down in here, and this is a deep hole. And if you don't put it right, it won't sit in there. And you only turn one way. It doesn't turn left. It doesn't turn left. You only turn one way. So you have to get it in the right way in order for it to work. And like I said, when you're doing this job, guys, you don't do it in a hurry, because it takes a lot to get it down in there. And like I said, you just don't slap it on. You just doesn't slap it on like this and call it a day. You have to find the right groove in order for it to work, to spin the way it's supposed to. because like I said, you want to put it that it moves, because when the engine is starting, it turns left and right, back and forth. So you have to do it the same way. Because I could put it in like this right now, but it's not properly in. It's not properly in because it has to go and sit. It has to go and sit on the two bracket inside that stops it. You know, it opens and closes. And there's two ways you can do it. Like I said, if you don't catch that groove in there, guys, see, now I catch the groove, and that's it. That's it, guys. And you make sure it goes in and it sits in, because there's a rubber on the outside here, but like I said, there's a guide in here that on both sides. You have one at the top and you have one at the bottom. All right, so you turn this thing to where it can go down in the hole, and you have the top part and you have the bottom part, and once you put it in that groove, it won't move. All you have to do now is just feel for it, and it's just a feeling, guys. It's just a feeling, but you have to make sure that the rubber gets in as well, because this rubber is what seals the air inside from coming out. And like I said, I can just do like this right now. I can just do like this and just push it in and tighten it up just like that, but that's not the right way. You have to get it that when it turns in a way that it's not going up and it's not going down. The bottom is going in, but the top not going in. Well, the top is going in. All right, there we go. That's it, guys. That's it. But you always have to remember, you have to line it up from inside here. If it doesn't line it up from inside here, even though your screws and everything's line up, but because there's a gap in between the metal piece that stops it from keeping going over. It opens and it locks, and it closes and it locks. So it locks on one end when you turn the vehicle off, and it opens on the next end when you turn the vehicle on. And I'm just going to grab my original screws again. Like I said, I know one of these holes are threaded out, but I'm just going to put my original screws back in, and then I'll try to feel for the hole that's threaded out and change the screw. Maybe I don't have to. Like I said, I know the old one, my original. That's the problem I had with it, but this one, I got this one from the junkyard and I don't think I think it's only one of the screw on here I did. And they're all going around, they're all tightened. So, and I can't remember if it was from here, and I'm just hoping it's not here. I think it was the one, and yeah, I think that's the one, guys. That's the one. I found it. And I believe there was two of them actually. I'm not sure, but that was one of them. Stop it. That's tight. So I think this was one, And this one down in the bottom was one of them too. Yeah, that's the one. So, and this is your runner valve, guys. You want to make sure, you know, I see a lot of guys use gasket maker, put gasket maker in there and retread the hole. That can work too, but the hole stays sealed. So what I do, I go get my two screws, my two modified screw that I was using, and they're the same 10 millimeter. So even if you're taking them apart, you can still use one socket to take them out. They're just a little bit bigger and longer. Alright, you see that, guys? You see the difference? It locks that way. Okay, and it also locks that one tie too. So now I secure this. I know that I don't need to worry because this will not come off. That will not come off, guys. And you can do that, you know, if you have the same size screw, but a little bit, maybe a little bigger one or a little longer one that can go further down and lock these. And that is done. And there's a couple other things that I have to take off here. I left my original throttle body on here because this was new when I bought it. So the only thing I'm going to take out is my mop sensor, and like I showed you, so when you're taking it out, you go counterclockwise, guys, and when you're putting it back in, you go clockwise. And I'm taking this one out, and this is new, and I wanted to take the harness off that one and use this one because I'm not sure how that map sensor looks, and I'm not sure if it's good. But when I started the vehicle yesterday, I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any issues with my map sensor. So, and yeah, and I don't really like this map sensor either, guys, because right now is a good thing I checked it, because now I'm looking at it, and there's a rubber gasket on here, and it's all threaded out and looks all soft and everything. I can take this one off this one here and put it on this one, but I would love to get this harness out, and because I know I plugged it in. So, and the only way I can get it off is from releasing it from in here. And I would love to go ahead and do this now. Before, see, now I release this piece in here because this little piece right here was locked on here, and so now I got it out, and a lot of things I'm looking at that doesn't look right. This one is the original one. It comes with a guide, orange guide. In here, I can take this orange guide out from this one, and I can put it into this one, because this one doesn't have a. This one came. I bought this one off the market, but they didn't have a guide in it. Guys. So I just popped this little green piece out, and I'm just gonna stuck it in here, because these comes with a guide for a reason, and it is one of the locking mechanism. So I'm not gonna throw away this one. I'm gonna keep it, but I just don't like the rubber on it because the rubber is all worn out, and that's why nobody really changed the rubber. They just go ahead and change the map sensor itself. So I'm just gonna plug my map sensor back in here like that, and see, it locks again and it won't come out. So that's one of the locking mechanism, that little green piece. It helps to lock this piece right here So the green piece that's in here, this part goes on it and sit and locks. But when I press down on it, see, it comes out on this one and it won't come out on this one. So it comes out on that one. See the little green that's why it wouldn't come out on this one, because this green piece got stuck in here. And this green piece is not meant to be on here. It's meant to be on the harness itself. It's meant to be in the harness itself. So as soon as I put this one in here that I got from my old engine, it sits this green piece back into place. And that's why I was able to unplug it. And see, now I'm pulling on it and it won't come out. It's not coming out. I have to press on here, and as I press on it, it comes out. So all these little things you want to check, guys. All these little things you want to check for, because, you know, driving your vehicle and stuff like that, it will come out. And I went ahead and I changed this also, because the one that came on the one for the engine, it broke right in here, right in the creases right here. It broke, so there was vacuum escaping through here. So I took the originally the original one that came on my vehicle had a hole right there too. We had a crack, but luckily I had two of these, so I just popped the old one out of this and put the one that come with this engine, because the one that comes with this engine, the rubber was good, so I took it off that manifold cover and put it on here. And I'm just going to secure my map sensor. Like I said, it could be good, and it should be good, because when I plugged my scanner in yesterday, it wasn't telling me anything that my map sensor was bad or anything like that. But like I said, I didn't start the vehicle for a very long time. I have to let it idle and sit there for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, let the engine warm up, and then whatever codes that needs to come up will come up. And I'm just hoping and praying that I don't have any codes. So yeah, guys, that's one way to do your thing. And I'm just gonna put my little thing right here. And my little map sensor, because I have so many sensors in my toolbox that they've been there for so long that right now they got rust on them, guys. They got rust on them. But you know, I just keep them for a reason. Keep them for a reason, guys. And you know, that is done. I'm just gonna put this back up together, and I really didn't want to put this back, but it's raining right now, so I gotta secure my cylinder head to make sure there's nothing, no water or anything going into there. And clean up these little surface if it has any sand or anything on it. And I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna go back underneath it, and I'm gonna double check one more time to make sure my gasket is properly set and everything is in the place like that, because you can put it back on and you didn't double check your gasket, and maybe one of your gasket end was coming out like this, like that, guys, and you know, you put it back and now it's all crooked and stuff like that. So you want to make sure it's in there and it's sitting, because these are rubber really, and they sits in there and it doesn't fall out. And that's for your intake manifold cover gasket. And you want to protect those things, because it's little and small like that, but it's very expensive, guys. And one of the tricks that I learned when you're putting this thing back is that you catch your EGR valve, and you catch the back plug on this before you put it back together, because it's hard to catch this back one right here. This back plug right here is very hard to catch. So what I normally catch this one first back here, guys. And once I plug this one in, I lock it. I lock that, See that? I push it down and it clicks, and I lock it. When now that I do that, I can put my manifold cover in, because the front one is easy to catch. And there's another one right here that I just push right up, and I like to push it up, and here it clicks. Okay, that's it. Okay, I heard it click. I know you probably didn't hear it click, but it clicks, and you pull down on your wires. Your harness is not so hard, but you pull down on it a little bit, just to make sure. Alright guys, so there's a few things back here that just need to be plugged back in. First, there's a back hose right here that needs to go back from the engine block onto the onto your intake manifold cover, because you will easily forget that. So I do them in sequence. I always put that little black piece of hose on, and then you always go get my EGR valve. Like I said, the EGR valve, it comes with a metal gasket, a round one, and it comes with a metal covering, but I like to center that gasket before I put it in. So, and you won't get the center of it, guys. You won't get the center of it right here, over here. Okay, right over here, this is the EGR valve, and your EGR valve goes from your engine block back to your intake manifold cover, and there's two little 5/16 screws that holds it back here. And like I said, I love to catch these ones first, because if you don't catch these, the rest of them is very hard to catch. If you don't catch this and line up this, you want to catch it, and there right here there's two pieces. You have the round gasket that in here, metal gasket, and then you have the covering. But if you put this your intake cover down and tighten it up, you can't get to here, because this can't move anymore. So what I like to do, I like to catch my gasket and make sure it's centered with my rubber before I start bolting down. And I believe one of these holes I had to modify it too. I'm pretty sure of that. One of these, and that's why I had hope and prayed that the one that I was getting was gonna be good and okay. And this the hole right here that I had to put a bigger screw in it, and I'm just gonna go with the bigger screw that I had in it, because it worked. It was bigger and longer. So I'm just gonna go find that screw, because it did work, and this was the screw. You see this little screw right here, this is the little original one that comes with it, and this is the one that I put in. There are two different ones, and it's longer. It's longer, guys. See the length of it? It's longer. But what I did is once this goes down, it can go down and it can tighten it, because my EGR valve, I don't play around with it, guys, because you will get a check engine light for that EGR valve. And see how I got that to tighten up, guys. And my gasket and everything sits into place, and that's tight. And my gasket here, my gasket sit exactly into place where it needs to fit, right in here. It's positioned exactly center. And I believe this one back here I had to modify it too and use a bigger screw. and I know I have all the screws up here, and this is the little original screw that came with it. So these, and I had to modify it and put a bigger screw in it. And I had all the screws up here that I used to put in it, and this was the next one. This is like the one that I put at the front. So I had a pair of them, and instead of using one, I used the both of them. I had a pair, and instead of using one of two different screws, I use pair. So I know it's just one socket, and it's a 10 millimeter. And that's tight, guys. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with you putting in bigger screws or bigger bolts into the hole, as long as it holds it tight, because these little ones will go down, but they will not tighten up your EGR valve. And like I said, you don't want to play with your EGR valve, because that's your emission control right there. I control your whole emission system practically. So I always like to do that. And like I said, I still have to come and unplug all of these things, because I still have the back bracket back there to put on back onto my transmission mount. There's this little plastic piece is your EGR line that goes back into there, and then this rubber hosing is this clamp doesn't really have to be on it. I just put it on because I didn't want to lose it. I had it for something and I didn't want to put it on, but it does, the original comes with it. No clamps goes on any of these hosing, and they do that for a reason. They just pull on and push off. And this one leads back to your master cylinder, and that's it. Now that I've done that, I can go ahead and I can plug my throttle body back in, and once I hear that click, I know that it won't come out. I'll go ahead and I'll close it like that. And then don't forget that you also have a map sensor back there, guys. You also have a map sensor back there, and like I remember how I showed you, counterclockwise to take it out, and clockwise to put it back in. And you just reach back there like that, and you pop it in, and you hear that pop. Once you hear that pop, you know that it sits in, and you can always pull it back like that. And once you pull it like that, it will never come out. All right, but don't don't try to force it. Just push it down. If you set it in the way you're supposed to set it, for it to come back clockwise, because you can't put it down from this position, this lock position, because it will never go in. The little sensor has a little groove that goes in, and you hear that pop, because the rubber part has to pass through to go down, and the rubber is what help to hold in your map sensor. So once you push it down and you hear that pop, you know it's in, and you can turn it and you can lock it. All right, and you double check to make sure that your harness is not coming out and it's properly locked in, and you can then tuck those things up away. And that's it, guys. And I can go ahead now and I can tighten down my intake manifold cover, because I'm not gonna really take this back off again. I don't really necessarily need to take it off, but it would give me more room if I'm working back there, but I don't have to take it all off. I can just unplug these and push it further out here back to the passenger side, so I'll be able to have enough room to put my my bracket back on onto my transmission mount. If I don't do that, then I'll have to go all the way underneath the bottom and try to do it from here. So I didn't want to really put back too much things together, guys. And there's a couple more things that you gotta remember to put on, because this little piece right here with the green tip on it, and that's your transaxle breather hose, and do remember that it goes back to the side right here, And when it goes back to the side right here, guys, it also goes into your throttle body like this. And when it goes into your throttle body like that, you also have another little nut up here. Once you push it in like that, it goes like that, and you push it in like that. It has a little nut right up here that holds this piece onto your throttle body, and a bolt down here that goes back into your engine block. Not really your engine block, but your thermostat hosing bracket right there. And it's a little short, thick screw that goes into there, and I have it in the toolbox, and all these little tip bits that I have up here that's getting rust, I gotta take them off and put them back. These are my whole cutter, my whole threaders. I don't really want to leave these anywhere, so I'm gonna take these up. But and yeah, I can find the screw, so that I know where it's at. I just need to go dig up and find it. And like I said, I can go ahead now and start bolting down your bolt. And like I said, I didn't really want to bolt this down too tight, guys. I didn't really want to bolt this down too tight, because I probably still have to take it back off, and I don't want to I don't want to do unnecessary work. But I just keep this down so no water won't get into my engine. And it's safe to use a Craftsman on it, guys, because your Craftsman has a locking mechanism. Anytime it reaches a tightening point that it can't go no more, you know that the screw it's not tight, because you still have to go and hand tighten them down and torque them to the proper torque spec. It won't over tighten them, and that's why I like to use instead of the big handgun. Remember, I have to take this off, because I had put a zip tie on here. Guys, and I don't really remember why I put that zip tie there. But I'm gonna take it off. I can't remember why. I know I put it there for a reason, but I just can't remember the specific reason. Remember the specific reason why I put it on, but I had put it on there for a reason. And I know I have all the cutters and everything that can cut this thing, but I can't find them right now. I'm just going to throw that back into my toolbox and work this thing down. So that's that right there, guys. That is done. And I'm not gonna leave anything on my engine, because I want to cover my engine and take all these power tools out the rain and stuff. And I'm just gonna put this back on here so nothing gets into my throttle body. And the rubber part has a groove up here too, guys. It has a groove up here that you put it and it sits on. And I'm just going to plug my my sensor back in here like that, just to secure that and lock it. And I'm just going to take this little red piece out here from out here and plug my engine back in. Just pop it out, and I'm going to save it because I might need it in the future. So I'm just going to pop this back in like that. And all these doesn't come with any form of clamp or anything.